Are you repeating a daily habit that's silently destroying your heart without even realizing it? I'm not talking about fried food, cigarettes, or alcohol. I'm talking about something you're probably doing right now, something that seems harmless, but it's quietly weakening the hearts of millions of seniors every single day. Nearly 70% of people over 60 have this habit. They feel fine until they walk into my office and hear the words, high blood pressure, clogged arteries, heart attack, or worse. I'm a heart surgeon, and I've seen far too many hearts that could have been saved if only the patient had known just a little earlier. In this video, I'll walk you through the 10 most dangerous habits harming senior hearts and exactly how to stop each one. Habit 1 is the one I see almost every single day, and it's also the reason many people never get a second chance. Don't skip this. Habit 10, skipping daily walks. Do you think you're just fine even if you barely move all day? Many of my patients over 60 say the same thing. I'm retired now. I just want to rest. But sitting for hours in front of the TV isn't rest. It's slowly burying your heart in silence. According to the American Heart Association, just 30 minutes of walking a day can cut your risk of heart attack by nearly 50%. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need a personal trainer. You just need to stand up and take that first step. I'll never forget one patient, Mrs. Miller, 69 years old. She had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and poor sleep. She started with just 10 minutes of walking around her garden each morning. 6 weeks later, her blood pressure had stabilized. She was sleeping better, and she told me something I'll never forget. For the first time in years, I actually feel alive again. Walking costs nothing. No gym, no equipment, just a pair of shoes and a bit of persistence. Think of your heart like an engine. If you don't start it each day, it rusts from the inside out. If you haven't started walking yet, try just 5 minutes right after this video. Every step is your way of saying, I still want to live well. Heart health for seniors begins with the first step. Habit number 9, eating too much salt. Do you pay attention to how much salt you eat every day? Because once you're over 60, even a single teaspoon could quietly shorten your life. Most seniors I meet say, I don't eat that salty, but they forget that salt hides everywhere. In bread, cheese, sauces, canned soups, frozen meals. We're not just sprinkling salt, we're swallowing it bite by bite without realizing. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day for adults over 60. That's less than a teaspoon. Go over that daily, and your risk of high blood pressure, heart failure, and stroke climbs fast. I treated Mr. Robert, 72. His blood pressure was 160 over 100, even with a normal diet. We made small changes, swapped salted snacks for unsalted nuts, cut canned foods, and started cooking fresh at home. 3 weeks later, his blood pressure dropped to 130 over 80 without changing medication. You don't have to give up flavor. Read food labels, use lemon, garlic, black pepper, ginger instead of salt. Cook at home instead of using packaged food. Try low-sodium salt, but don't overdo it. Within 2 weeks, your taste buds will adjust. Your food will still taste good, and your heart will thank you. Heart health for seniors doesn't start with medicine. It starts with the spices you choose. Habit 8, heavy, greasy breakfasts. Breakfast can be medicine or a bullet for your heart, and far too many seniors are starting their day with a dangerous mistake. Buttered toast, sausages, fried eggs, sugary coffee. It all sounds familiar, doesn't it? The issue isn't the taste, it's the timing. Early in the morning, your blood is thicker, and your heart is more fragile. A greasy, heavy meal right after waking up can slow circulation, spike your blood pressure, and in some cases, trigger a heart attack. Over 60% of senior heart attacks happen in the morning. And this type of quick, tasty, convenient breakfast is a major reason why. I treated Mr. Charles, 71 years old. No history of heart problems. One morning after eating bacon, fried eggs, and a pastry, just like he always did, he had sudden chest pain at the table. The scan showed 70% artery blockage. He needed emergency intervention. We didn't just treat him, we had to warn him about his breakfast habits. You can make the switch tomorrow morning. oats with fresh fruit, whole grain toast with nut butter or avocado, boiled eggs instead of fried, a sugar-free vegetable smoothie. These choices stabilize blood sugar, reduce cholesterol, and are much gentler on your heart. Don't make your heart work overtime before your day even begins. Heart health for seniors starts with the very first bite. Habit 7. Drinking alcohol regularly. You've probably heard a glass of red wine a day is good for your heart. Unfortunately, that doesn't hold true once you're over 60. Your body doesn't process alcohol the same way anymore. The liver slows down, blood pressure rises more easily, and your heart rhythm becomes unstable, even after just a few sips. I've seen many seniors drink every evening, thinking one glass won't hurt, until suddenly heart rhythms go irregular or blood pressure spikes during the night. Alcohol can cause atrial fibrillation, irregular heartbeat, increased blood fat levels, reduced effectiveness of blood pressure or diabetes meds, all of which raise your risk of stroke and heart failure. Mr. Bryan, 68, never smoked, ate well, but still had a mild heart attack in his sleep. The cause? 2 glasses of wine every night to help him sleep. After quitting for 3 months, his sleep improved, blood pressure dropped, and his heartbeat became steady. At his follow-up, he told me, "Doctor, I never thought quitting alcohol would make my heart feel this light. If you still choose to drink, follow these limits. No more than 1 glass per day. Not every day. Never use it as a sleep aid. Better yet, replace alcohol with pomegranate juice, chamomile tea, or a warm cup of water before bed. Alcohol may numb your nerves, but it quietly hurts your heart. If you truly want to live longer, take a closer look at your nightly drink. Heart health for seniors isn't found in a bottle. It's found in the decision to stop before it's too late. Habit 6. Bottled up emotions and chronic stress. Are you holding in your worries just to avoid bothering your children? If so, your heart may be carrying more weight than you realize. Stress doesn't stay in your mind. It goes straight to your heart. Every time you feel anger but stay silent or worry but don't share it, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline spike. They make your heart beat faster, tighten your blood vessels. Day after day, your heart is fighting a silent battle. According to the American Heart Institute, long-term stress raises the risk of heart attack and stroke by up to 30 to 40%. Even people with healthy diets can still suffer heart failure, just from emotional pressure they never release. I once met Mrs. Susan, 70 years old, living alone. No known medical issues, but she often had chest pain and irregular heartbeats. After a deeper talk, I learned she'd been bottling up grief after her husband passed. 5 years of holding it all in. I encouraged her to journal every night and to join a gentle meditation group for seniors. 2 months later, she returned and said, "For the first time in years, I no longer wake up with pain in my chest." Try this. Write down your feelings, even the small ones. Call an old friend, a family member, or join a local senior group. Practice deep breathing for 5 minutes each morning. You don't need to share everything, just don't keep everything inside. Your heart doesn't just pump blood, it feels what your mind is carrying. Heart health for seniors isn't just about diet or medication, it begins with peace of mind. Habit 5. Ignoring snoring and sleep apnea. Loud snoring, gasping for air at night, waking up often. Do you think that's normal? It might actually be your heart calling for help. Sleep apnea affects millions of people over 60, but few realize that every time your breathing stops, your heart is starved of oxygen, contracts harder, and blood pressure spikes. You sleep, but your heart doesn't. Night after night, it becomes more and more exhausted. If left untreated, sleep apnea doubles your risk of high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, stroke, and heart failure. Even people who aren't overweight and have no medical history can have it, without knowing. I remember Mr. David, 70. His wife told me, he snores loudly and sometimes it sounds like he stops breathing for a few seconds. At first they thought it was just fatigue, but after a sudden dizzy spell, he was referred for a sleep test. The results? He stopped breathing over 30 times per hour throughout the night. After using a CPAP machine for just 2 months, his blood pressure normalized, he slept deeply, and he said, For the first time in 10 years, I woke up without feeling tired. If you feel tired during the day, wake up at night, or your partner notices loud snoring or gasping, get checked. At-home sleep tests are easy to use. Treatment with a CPAP machine or sleep mouthpiece has helped millions of seniors reduce their heart risk. Don't ignore snoring. It might be the first sound your heart makes when it's in trouble. Heart health for seniors begins with a peaceful night's sleep. Habit 4. Smoking and secondhand smoke. Do you think, I only smoke a little, it's fine? Or, I'm just around others who smoke, it can't be that bad? Your heart would strongly disagree. Even one cigarette a day, or just a few minutes of secondhand smoke, can damage your blood vessels. Smoking makes your arteries tighten, causes inflammation, and speeds up plaque buildup, like pouring sand into a pipe every day. Your heart has to pump harder, faster, and eventually it wears out. There is no safe level of smoking. Even if you've smoked for 30 years, quitting today can start healing your arteries within weeks. According to the CDC, quitting after age 60 can still reduce your risk of heart attack by up to 36%. If you smoke, join a quit smoking group, use nicotine patches or gum. If you live with a smoker, have an honest conversation. Your heart doesn't have a smoke filter. Avoid cafes and public places with smoke whenever possible. Every smoke-free day is a day your heart begins to recover. It's never too late to say, I'm done. Heart health for seniors begins with a clean breath and a strong decision. Habit number 3, using phones and TV late at night. Do you leave the TV on all night? Scroll through your phone before bed? You're not alone, but your heart is quietly paying the price. Blue light from screens, phones, TVs, tablets blocks melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep deeply. When your sleep is poor or cut short, your nighttime blood pressure doesn't drop like it should. That means your heart keeps working overtime when it should be resting. Multiple studies show that disrupted sleep is a major risk factor for high blood pressure, arrhythmia, and stroke. And after 60, your heart no longer recovers as quickly. So every sleepless night is another night your heart grows weaker. Here's what to do instead. Turn off your phone and TV at least 1 hour before bed. Use warm yellow lighting and avoid bright white or blue lights. Replace screen time with reading, light meditation, or soft music. If you need background sound, try rain sounds, water streams, or a gentle audiobook. Nighttime is when your heart needs to rest. Don't make it stay awake with you. Heart health for seniors doesn't just happen during the day. It begins with the way you sleep each night. Habit number 2, eating fast food and fried snacks frequently. You might think, one fried chicken, some fries, or a salty snack, just for fun, can't hurt, right? Your heart would strongly disagree. Fast food, deep-fried items, and packaged snacks, the quick, tasty, convenient stuff, are silent enemies of senior hearts. They're loaded with trans fats, saturated fats, and salt, making your blood thicker and narrowing your arteries over time. Each bite may seem harmless, but it gradually raises your blood pressure and forces your heart to work harder. You won't feel it after a week or a month, but your heart remembers every bite. A Mayo Clinic study found that even just one fried meal per week can increase the risk of heart attack in seniors by nearly 30%. You don't need to give up your favorite foods. Just change how they're prepared. Swap deep frying for oven baking or an air fryer. Make burgers at home with whole grain buns, lean meat, fresh greens, and low-sodium sauces. When craving a snack, go for unsalted nuts, fresh fruits, or light veggie soup. Remember, every food you eat becomes your blood. And if your blood is full of grease, your heart will struggle to pump it through narrowing vessels. Taking care of heart health for seniors doesn't mean extreme restrictions. It simply means making smarter choices. Habit number 1, skipping or inconsistently taking blood pressure medicine. You feel fine, no dizziness, no headache, so you think it's okay to stop your blood pressure meds for a few days. That's one of the most dangerous habits I've seen in people over 60. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. It often shows no symptoms. You might feel normal, while inside your arteries are being damaged day by day. The vessel walls thicken, your heart pumps harder, and blood slams into the artery walls, like waves crashing against a fragile shore. And just one lapse, forgetting, skipping, or being inconsistent, can trigger a heart attack, stroke, or acute heart failure. Blood pressure meds aren't just treatment, they're your heart's daily line of defense. Even if you feel okay, always, take them on time, every day. Use a pill organizer or reminder app. Report side effects to your doctor. Never stop on your own. Check your pressure regularly at home. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. And remember, your heart doesn't ask for much. Just don't abandon it with careless habits. Heart health for seniors doesn't begin in the emergency room. It begins with your daily attention before it's too late. Your heart has been beating nonstop for decades. Through your sleep, through your stress, even when you forgot it was there. But after 60, your heart can't carry the weight alone anymore. It needs your attention. It needs you to choose your meals more carefully, to take a few extra steps each day, and to take the one little pill you often forget. You don't need to change everything at once. Just start with one habit worth stopping today, then move on to the next and the next. Not for anyone else, but for you, for the people who love you, and for a heart that deserves to keep beating strong for many more years. If you want to keep taking care of your heart the right way, don't stop with this video. Watch the playlist Healthy Aging for Seniors, where I share more about nutrition, movement, sleep, and emotional wellness, all designed for people over 60. Give your heart what it's been giving you all your life, your care.